Okay, hello. Super excited about this episode because we're actually going to get some stuff running here. The reason I'm wearing the Code Sandbox cap is not because I'm doing like advertising. It's basically because my daughter cut my hair this weekend and I put on the wrong setting. So typically I'd have like 14 millimeters, but now it's like 1.4. You see like it's like crazy short. And it was actually because we get like three new hires today at Code Sandbox. So I thought I would like shave and cut my hair. And then it didn't went as I expected. Anyways, we are going to see if we can actually connect our app now to Firebase and start storing some stuff. Are we using npm? Yeah, we're just using npm run dev. Let's see if we can get this running first. Okay, hello dashboard. So I started thinking this weekend about it would be interesting to make this like an open GitHub thing as well. So you could like just go to Excalidraw with your GitHub account. You could create some Excalidraw and you could get a link to embed it. Well, not embed it, but like insert it into Markdown, like for an issue or a discussion or whatever, or in README especially. And it would actually give you the URL to an image, which is server rendered Excalidraw. So you always have like an updated image. And then you can click that image and you can actually just edit it. And when you save it, the image will just update, right? But we are not going to look into that now. We're going to stick to our scope so we don't get any scope creep. And maybe I'll do that later. One thing I was thinking about though is we're doing this sign in, but actually we don't have to do this. We don't have to do sign in. I don't think we even need we don't really need this sign in success here, because when we do sign in Google, this will actually, well, this is a really good example of state machines. So what actually happens here is that when I get this result, I will get a sign in success, but I will also get a sign in success from this one, because on auth state change will actually change when I log in here. So I will technically pass two sign in success events or actions, but only one of them will be dealt with, because as soon as this runs, I'm changing the state of the reducer, which means that it will actually ignore this one. So you avoid having duplicate reconciliations, right? So this is, yeah, this is really important. But I think I'll keep this for now, because it's just more explicit. If I would remove this, you would kind of have to infer, oh, okay, so why aren't you having a success here? And then, yeah, it's just more explicit. Anyways, what we're going to do, what are we going to do? So we are on the dashboard, right? Yes. So on this dashboard, we are going to allow you to create a new, let's see, oh, that's not the thing. We are going to allow you to create a new Excalidraw, and we're also going to list your existing Excalidraws, but for now we're going to just allow you to create a new one. Create new Excalidraw. And then this is going to have like an on-click, and we'll introduce some state and stuff here later, but for now we are just going to use, let's see, because now we're just using Firebase directly, right? Yeah, I thought about that as well. We could make Firebase like an effect, which we provide to the React app instead. And doing that, we could like expose a specific Firebase API that we could mock for testing, for example. But again, I don't think we're going to do that now. We're just going to import Firebase and just use it here for now. We can make it better later. So what we want to do here is when we click this thing, we want to, yeah, and also we want a router here. That means, where's our router? There you are. We actually want to pass the router down to the dashboard, or at least we want to be able to like open. We want to open this. Yeah, we don't want to pass. We just want to dispatch. So let's, what should we call this? Router dispatch. And this is going to, yeah, we need to export this, and we can also dispatch the actual dispatcher. Export type router dispatch equals, and isn't there like a, I don't think there is, yeah, React dispatch action. Cool. So now we should be able to use this inside our dashboard. Router dispatch. We can bring that in from the router, and there we go. We have a router dispatch. So we should be able to just say now router dispatch type open Excalidraw, and we need an ID. So this is the question. How are we going to do this? Are we going to, inside the dashboard, we should probably talk to Firebase first, and then we dispatch to the router. I think that's the best way to do it. So we actually do need some state here. So let's do the same as we did before. We have a context, and this context has it has an idle state, like we're not doing anything. And then we have something called creating Excalidraw. And then we have, well, we basically only have those two. Yeah. And then we have an action, which is type create Excalidraw. And then we have an action called create Excalidraw success. And this should have the ID. And then we have type create Excalidraw error, and this should have an error. Okay, this is pretty straightforward. And we need to return, let's see. Yeah, so we're not going to dispatch here. We are going to dispatch to our own internal thing. Use reducer. We're going to have context, action, and we're going to transition context with action, and then we have idle. Sounds like the family is up. And then we're going to start in idle. Okay, so here we have our transition thingy. Oh my god, I can't believe nobody's watching. It's so sad. I was so excited about this. Anyways, hopefully someone will see it later, because this is going to be epic. Okay, so we have our idle, and this is when we're allowed to create an Excalidraw. And basically what we're going to do, we're just going to transition into creating Excalidraw. So that means that you can't like click the button multiple times. And then we deal with the success here, where we have the ID. Oh yeah. So here we actually have one more state. We have creating Excalidraw created. This is the state we're going to react to actually move like route or like dispatch to that state. So Excalidraw created, and we're going to pass the ID there. And this is just how Excalidraw created, and we can't do anything there because this is going to move us away from this page. And then we have the error. So let's have an explicit error state here. Error string. And if we're in an error, we can create an Excalidraw again if we want to do that. Cool. Yes, so we could even have like Excalidraw created, where we could have like a button you click, like move to this created Excalidraw. That would be kind of cool. But we're going to do it automatically now. Excalidraw. And then Excalidraw error. There we go. Okay, so we have Excalidraw error, and if we have an error, we're going to move to the error state with that error. Oh, cool. Okay, so this is our like machine. We can, when we start, we're idle. We can create an Excalidraw, and that's going to trigger an effect that actually creates it. And then this dispatches a success or an error on that. If it's a success, we move into the Excalidraw created state, because that's going to trigger a different effect, the one that actually moves us to that Excalidraw. And that needs to have an ID to understand where we're going to route to. And then we have an error where we move to an error state where we do allow you to create another Excalidraw. Oh. Anyways, so let's exec context. This is when the context changes. What are you so unhappy about? Oh, sorry. Here we go. So we are going to react to creating Excalidraw. So this is the effect that creates this Excalidraw, and then Excalidraw created. This is the one that's going to dispatch. Okay, so when we create an Excalidraw, we actually need to go to Firebase, Firestore. We are going to, oh shit, I can't even remember how this works. We're going to open a collection, and that's going to be like the Excalidraw. We should probably put some constants for this. Well, okay, let's at least create. Are we going to access this from, probably going to access this from multiple components. So let's just, I usually have a file called constants. Excalidraws collection. Yeah, let's do that. Excalidraws collection. And then we're going to add a document, and this document is going to have some data. I don't know how the data for let's see. Oh, what did I do? Ooh, nice. I don't know how the data structure looks in an Excalidraw. But it's probably, it starts as an object, probably. So here we should really like put something like the base data representation of an Excalidraw, because we're going to load that into our Excalidraw. Anyways, we'll figure that out. And then we're going to have some metadata. And I don't think we need like a specific property for that. We can just have it next to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to add you as a user. Or as the author. And what we're going to use is I wonder, like, what's the username? Does it have a username? Let's see, console Firebase. Authentication, Christian. Can I like look at this user? No. We have, yeah, so it's like Christian. Oops. So who is the author? Should we just use the email address, and then we can rather have a utility function that removes like @codesandbox. So we'll always store users with their email address. Okay, but then we need to access that email address. And now it's getting a little bit more interesting, because now we have auth, which is like, we don't want to pass the auth context like 2 components down. So we really want this to be a provider instead. So we can actually, what's really cool is that we can very easily move all this logic into a context provider instead. And I think we're actually just going to create it here. Let's try this. So we're going to say auth context, and this is of course create context. This is of course like a React context, which, so me using the term context inside the reducer is a little bit, but I don't care. So we're going to create null as context React dispatch action. Or do I have to do this? Yeah. This is kind of silly. Oh, I can't even do that. Ugh, that sucks. I really hate this, that you try to create a typed context, but you can't really do it without having a value there. But anyways, so then we have the auth provider, which will actually be this thing. And this is going to auth equals auth, and then we're going to return auth instead. No, we're not going to return auth, but we're going to return auth context provider value is auth. And then of course we need the children here. Where are your children? And children is of type React node. And then we are actually going to also expose. Yeah, so this is interesting, because now we're actually, yeah, I think we need to move this to its own file. We're going to call it auth provider instead, but let me finish this first. What did I have here? Okay, export const use auth is use context auth context, and now we're actually going to export use authenticated auth. We're actually going to have 2 of them. So this one represents, okay, just use auth. I don't care what the current state is, but here we actually care about the current state. So now we can use context equals use auth, and then if context state equals authenticated, then we're actually going to return, let's see, auth. Then we're going to return it. If not, we're going to throw a new error. You are not using the auth provider in an authenticated component. So this just ensures that we want to use authenticated auth, which means that when we return this one, it's actually in the, oh, I wonder if we can just do this. We're going to check the typing here. Return auth. So basically, we just want to ensure that when we use auth, it's actually authenticated. And that ties into typing and everything. But anyways, so this is going to use auth. Auth equals, well, I guess we can say context dispatch use auth. And then we're going to move this into actual auth provider. You found auth provider. Oops, what did I do? What? Oops. Where are you? Auth. We're going to move this stuff in there as well. And we need like, let's just move everything. And I think we're going to move this Firebase stuff. We're going to move this. Oh, now we're starting to refactor a lot of stuff. Not perfectly happy about that. It's just taking up time, right? Okay, so this is Firebase app. Oh, is that we need that, and we also need React. Not use state, auth. We don't need all this stuff. We just need React. We don't need transition or exec. App CSS. Okay. Yeah, let's just use. Okay, cool. So now we have that one. We have auth provider. What is it complaining about? Oh, transition. And this is going to be export const auth provider. We need exec here as well. Okay, so now we have our auth provider. And the question now is, we actually need to provide it. And where do we provide it? I guess we provide it here. So now we have our auth provider. And it should be running, should be happy. And now let's just see if it's still running. Yeah, runs the same. Good. And we're also going to probably create like a router provider as well. But let's try now first to const you. So let's how should we name this? Well, I guess auth. I'm just going to check if this is actually properly typed, because I'm not sure if it is. Yeah, exactly. This is not properly typed. So this is a little bit tricky because we want this to be typed to a specific, and it doesn't understand this. Like TypeScript doesn't understand us doing this, which is we kind of have to. I think we have to manually type this. So we have to like say as pick state context authenticated and then React dispatch action. So if we go to this one now, it should say auth 0. Yeah, now we have the user. Yeah, so this is like not perfectly I wish there was a way to maybe there's a way to let me try something. Maybe we should expose that on the library as well. So context, and what I want to do is sorry, I can just do this context state yeah, do I want to do that? This is the rendering reconciliation thing with React. Because what I meant was if I do this, then the typing will work. Right? It says authenticated. But the problem is now I'm returning a new array, which I don't want to do. Because that affects the reconciliation. But the only way this can actually update is if the array changes. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Okay, exactly, yeah, because this hook can only trigger if there is a context change, like if there is an actual new array here, and then we just return the new array again. Okay, yeah, but that's good, but that should be documented. Anyways, so we have our auth, so let's call it auth context auth dispatch. Well, we don't need auth dispatch, but we need the auth context, and now we should be able to say author is author auth context. Hello. Why don't you allow me to dot into you? What the hell? Well, sorry. Ah, god damn it. Oh, this is another TypeScript issue, because now TypeScript infers that any item here can either be context or dispatch. But can I say like as const? Does that fix it? Yeah, exactly. Like this is the exact thing. That's really annoying. Anyways, user email. Cool. So now we can create an Excalidraw there, and we want to check that this actually is a success, or if there's like an error. And if it's a success, we're going to dispatch type create Excalidraw success, and we need to pass the ID of this one. And this returns reference ref.id, That should be enough. And then we have an error. Error is an error.message. Cool. So now we have that. And if we do get an Excalidraw created here, we should now have the ID on the state or on the context. And that means we should now be able to use the router dispatcher, but we're actually going to make that a hook as well. So let's remove that and we'll create a router provider. We're going to do the exact same thing as we did on the other thing. Export cons router provider. And this is going to take children, which is a React node. Oh, when does my day start here? 10:30. Okay, I'm going to code until 10:30 because I really want to get this stuff done. Let's just do this and do this. And we are going to copy this back because we need React here at least. Cool. Pick action, we need that one. Transform, we need that one. We're not going to pass this thing here, but we are going to, oh, we need to move the typing. Oh yeah, we need to move both of these into the router provider. And these two, they are also part of the provider. This is a really nice way to remove logic from components. I really like this pattern. Like, I'm not sure how it scales. But yeah, I really enjoy coding this way. So router context will be use router. We need to export that hook as well. Router context, create context as context react.dispatch action. And then we're going to export const use router, use context, router context. Like this is not a friendly API at all. Like imagine not knowing React and getting into React and kind of understand this pattern. It's just insane. It's insanely complicated compared to like diving into Vue or something. It's, yeah. It's just, but it's a good pattern. That's what I mean. Like it forces us to write like much safer code than what you would do in like Vue, but at some point or up to some point that doesn't really matter. Like it's the complexity of the app, right? And this app isn't very complicated, but you can see just the thing we did with Firebase where like you would do a necessary reconciliation because you are listening to authentication changes, but you're also signing in where you also have a successful authentication. Like just creating an Excalidraw, like you could click multiple, like, so there are like pitfalls, is that the term, here as well, but it's not like, doesn't really matter like in practice. Return router context. Oh, it's so funny. Our son, he makes a lot of noise. Router. Oh. Now we go. Let's do this instead. Now we go. Now we go. Router, children. And then let's do context dispatch equals router. Oh, we're not using the context here. I can do this, can't I? Yeah, just comma. Cool. So now we have our isolated logic. We don't need this stuff. And we have our router, so we can use that router. And now we have a router context. This is beautiful. Super, super simple. Okay, but what's really nice now is that we can go back to our main and we can actually router provide. Oops. We can expose a router as well. And now we should be able to, inside this dashboard, we should be able to say router context equals use router. And that, well, we don't want to use the router context, but the router dispatch. And now we can dispatch type open Excalidraw ID. Boom. There we go. Okay, so this is nice. This is pretty clean. It's a good separation, I think. The only thing that's missing here now is that we should rather expose Firebase as a provider as well, with explicit functionality for like signing in and stuff like that. But we don't care about that for now. Okay, so in theory, we should move to, if we give ID here, yeah, we should move to, so if I do this, and absolutely nothing happened. Ah, that's not good. Oh, did I actually dispatch? No, we need an on-click first. So we're going to dispatch, create Excalidraw. That's the only thing we need to do. Okay. Did you see that? Did you see me code for, I don't know, was it 30 minutes? And it just worked exactly like we wanted to. And this has, I don't think this has nothing to do with me like rehearsing this. I had no idea how to write this, or like I have some experience as a programmer, but this is what happens when you use good patterns and TypeScript especially. You can do this. You can code for 30 minutes. Okay, I did that one mistake where I forgot to add the on-click handler, but that was like silly thing. All the other stuff was way more complex than adding an on-click handler, right? So so yeah, I'm really happy about this. It didn't change the route though. That's a problem. Why didn't it change the route? That's weird. Use router. Oh, yeah, sorry. We don't... Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're back at the router. Yes, of course. This is where we don't want to just dispatch. We want to actually... We want to trigger the router. But how would we do that? We could, like, we can pass the router down like Navigo itself, but I'm trying to go without. I just want to use a dispatcher. Yeah, so this is interesting. So this is open dashboard. Yeah, so actually, I think we need to treat this as, okay, so you do a dispatch open dashboard. And then you have dashboard navigated. Yeah, I think, okay, this is interesting. This is really interesting. So let's refactor this. So we have open dashboard. So this is a request, right? I want to open the dashboard. But that doesn't mean that it necessarily happens, right? So what we have to add here is dashboard navigated. And we need to add Excalidraw navigated. So this is what happens. So this is the user requesting something, or this is the event from the user, and this is the event from the router actually doing the navigation. And here it needs a string as well. And then what we actually have to do here is yeah, how should we do this? So if we oh, this is interesting. Oh, I have a feeling we're going to get stuck here. Right. So what we're talking about here is how do you actually model a route change? Like you can just force the app to like, okay, Navigo, go to this page. But if you were to model it as actual events, then it becomes way trickier. And it's a little bit silly in terms of like a route can't really go wrong. Like if you tell Navigo to go to a certain page, it will go to that page. But in theory, it could like fail. But the thing I'm reasoning about now is what is this intermediate state? Like if I'm on the dashboard and I'm going to move to Excalidraw, I need this intermediate state. Where it tries to move to Excalidraw. And then the question is, what do I do about yeah, this is actually really, really tricky. Because now, like I would have to have like an explicit state, like dashboard to Excalidraw navigating, for example. Navigating from dashboard to Excalidraw. That would be a state. But then what would you render? I guess you would then render yeah, this is super interesting. So what we could do is that we could have it like a general thing here. So like when you're on the dashboard, you're allowed to it can state like no, but that wouldn't be good either. Oh my god, this is tricky. It would be way easier to just trigger the router directly. But now we're getting into an issue with React, right? We're getting into this issue where, okay, if I want to expose Navigo on the context, I could expose that. Like I could export a hook called use Navigo. So I would rather, yeah, I could do that. And that means I wouldn't really need to, yeah, that means I don't need this. And do I ever want this to be, maybe I don't want this to be a provider. So the other approach here would be to, okay, we're putting Navigo as a context. And then we just use that inside the router and we set up the routing. And then any other component can use Navigo to do routing changes. Yeah, I think actually that's the way to go. So we're going to change this into Navigo provider. Navigo provider. No, we're going to do this by hand. And what we're going to do, what's interesting about this though, is that it actually, we don't have to use this memo anymore. So we're going to do this instead. Navigo context. And we're going to say use Navigo. Maybe we can call it navigation provider. Rename Navi, because we want it to be context. Use navigation. Yeah, let's try this. So this would be navigation, and we would say use navigation. And then this would rather be navigation on resolve. And we would actually move this back into our router. Let's bring, okay. Use reducer. And we'll need to move this stuff back as well. Let's see. Transition. Use effect. And this will be a context, I guess. Okay, so we're back and we're rather using our navigation. And now we need to, this is like a navigation provider instead. Oh. Navigation provider. It takes children. React node. Is it complaining about something? Oh, there we go. And this is basically just going to sorry. This is just going to do navigation context provider. Oh, this is interesting. You have to use a value there. Okay. I hate this as Navigo. God damn it. Okay, anyways. What's cool is that we could actually mock this as well. We can do the same with as we do with Firebase to make this testable. I can show that in a later episode. Like we can refactor this to be testable. And I can show you how I would do that. What are you complaining about? There we go. Cool. Okay, so now we have our Navigo, we have our dashboard. What are you complaining about? Okay, this is dashboard, which would be a navigation provider now. Use navigation. And this would be like that. And now we can rather say navigation. And what the hell is the... how do you do the route? How do you navigate, of course? Navigate to... what do we call it? Oh, just ID. Okay, so now we're actually navigating instead, which means the router will react to this. It will dispatch an actual open Excalidraw, and then we should be good. Okay, let's see now. There we go, and we're happy. Cool. Yeah, I think this is way better. It was really interesting. Like, where do you do the separation between the actual, like in this case, the navigator and the routing logic? Anyways, okay, so what are we doing now? Now we have the actual Excalidraw thing. So let's do npm Excalidraw. Yes. There we go. Okay. So this is the thing we're going to use. If you're using a web bundler, you can as shown below. Cool. Yeah, maybe we should do this. Open in Code Sandbox. Here we see how to use it. Oh, it's actually quite a bit of stuff. So we have our Excalidraw here. So let's do this instead, and let's just start shoving stuff in here. View mode, what's this? Oh, it's like read write. We are going to make this like for Code Sandbox, we want everybody to be able to go in and change it, so we don't care about that. Oh, Zen mode. Oh, that's sexy. Ooh. And grid mode. Ah, interesting. Okay, so we're not going to play around with that, but we are going to, at least we need this one, that's for sure. And we will need dimensions, I guess. Well, we can't really change, well, maybe. Yeah, okay, let's have the dimensions there as well. And then we have the effect for changing the wrapper ref. Oh, sorry. Yes, object is possibly null. Isn't this how we do it? Oh. That might be null. Huh? Why are you, what are you complaining about? Oh yeah, we're not typing it. Element. Number, or can it be undefined? No, that's not true. That can't be undefined. Oh, yeah. This can be undefined. Oh, it says, sorry, we have to properly type this. Why does it say undefined? Okay, let's type this. Width, number, or undefined. Height is also number or undefined. Okay, now it's happy. So this is the on resize thing. And then we have update scene. We don't really care about that. This is like, I wonder how is it, does it yeah, because this is also something I wonder about. Does it do reconciliation? So in theory, we could actually create our own collaboration feature using Firebase, where you would rather have all the different operations than the actual state, and then you kind of have these snapshot states, which is interesting. Anyways, that's also for later. So this is the actual Excalidraw return. Why are you complaining? Oh, HTML div element. And okay, initial data on change. Ref, is this also HTML? Are you kidding me? Haven't I typed this? Oh, come on. Type. Are you serious? Oh, sorry. That's my bad. Excalidraw component. Cool. Oh, don't we have the typing? Excalidraw. Invalid package name. Okay. Excalidraw. Don't you have typing? Isn't it written in TypeScript? What the hell? I thought it was written in TypeScript. Okay, I guess not. So we have to create our own declare module Excalidraw. Isn't that how we do it? Excalidraw declare. Declare module Excalidraw. I probably typed it wrong. There we go. No. Declare module Excalidraw. Oh. Is that the way? What the hell? Or add a new declaration file. DTS, Excalidraw DTS. Why isn't this working? Oh, god damn it. What the fuck? I can't believe it. We're going to get stuck in this. That's for sure. Excalidraw / Excalidraw declare module, but I thought this was the syntax. Declare module. Why isn't this working? Please try using your God damn it. Why isn't this working? Type roots? What the hell is type roots? Couldn't get custom type of the product picked up. Number one, I was working for a while by copying the folder into this direct, but it was extremely unintuitive. Okay, let's try that. Paths, Excalidraw, and then source Excalidraw DTS, something like that. Did that actually work? Okay. All right. Yeah, so how do we... So this export, how do I define like default export? Export default. Is this how I do it? React.component. Yeah, and then that like has any. That's doable. I could type the rest of this, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, I'll save that. And then we have initial data. So what is initial data? Oh, interesting. Yeah, so here we have this object. So we have elements and app state. Okay. So let's update our little is this where I create the data app state, and then we have elements is an empty array. Okay, cool. Oh, it's raining today. It's actually really nice. Okay, so we have that, and here we are. Yeah, so this is where we're actually going to grab the data. So we need to introduce some context here as well, so that we actually render this when we have the data. And maybe we can just do that. Let's see. So context, we'll start in loading state. And it's either loaded or we have an error, I guess. We could also do like a syncing state here. So whenever we like update something, we know that we're actually syncing. So I think we should actually have that. Let's see. Or state syncing. Okay, and then we have actions, and those actions should now be, let's see. Yeah, I wonder how do we actually... Yeah, we'll figure that out later. Type, I guess sync, and then we have data. Let's just do any. Because it's basically going to be elements and state. Yeah, let's just do this for now. So we want our own context and dispatch here, which is use reducer. Oh, I'm getting hungry. Context, context, action, action. Oh, did I actually do this in our dashboard? Did I type the... Yeah, I did. Yeah. Okay, then we're going to transition, context, action. So either we're loading, or we are loaded, or we are syncing, or we have an error. Cool. And then we need to give state loading. We're starting the loading state. Cool. Let's see. Is anyone following along? Oh, that's nice, by the way. Yeah, hi Danny, and the Viking. Yeah, I thought I don't know if you saw the intro, Danny, but Emma was going to cut my hair this weekend, and I put the wrong setting on the machine. I thought I would clean myself up for the new hires, but check this out. Like, it's super short. It's like 1.4 millimeters instead of 14 millimeters. That was my bad. Anyways, so I'm loading, and oh, of course, we have other event actions here as well, which is loading success, where we actually get an Excalidraw, which has the type of, well, we have author now, which is a string, and we have data, which is like, let's just type it as any, because we don't really care about the structure of that data. And then we have also a loading type, loading error, where we expect to have an error. Okay, cool. So now we have some stuff in place, which means that, yeah, this is going to be a little bit heavy. Maybe this could actually be its own. Yeah, I think we should move this to, so we have the Excalidraw, and then we have the actual Excalidraw, where we pass down. I don't like putting even more stuff here. So what should we call that? Excalidraw, like canvas or something. Yeah, let's call it that. Excalidraw canvas TSX. We're actually going to move most of this stuff into the Excalidraw canvas, but we're not going to have this stuff here. Excalidraw canvas, and this is going to have some data. And it's also going to have like an on change, which is going to take data. Oh, on change looks like that. Let's remove this. Excalidraw, blah 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 blah. Yeah, and it's going to have well, I guess we can just use data as initial data. What I'm worried about here is, can I actually drive this thing? No, I guess I don't care about that. Okay, and then we have on change, on pointer update. I don't really care about pointer updates. Yeah, so this would be like for live collaboration. I don't care about that. On collab button click, don't care about that. Cool. So now we have data and on change. So this is like our canvas. What are you complaining about? Oh yeah, that stuff, that's okay. And then we can actually just Excalidraw canvas. Data, we're going to get the data here. And then we have on change. Cool. Okay, let's see now. What we need to do here is we need to have our own use effect. And oops, and here we're going to execute on the context. Oops. And what we're going to execute on is when we are loading. We're going to go and grab the thing. And what we're also going to react to is syncing. That is where we're going to pass the data. So syncing here, we actually need data. We actually need the data. Okay, so we need Firebase here. Where is Firebase? Remove. Oh. I think we use it even here. Yeah, Firebase. Yeah, let's fix this. So we know that it has initial data, which can be any, and it also has an on change, which has like elements, any, and state any, void. And what are you complaining about? I'm not calling it. TypeScript declare module default. But I want to, why the hell? The clear module, how did this work? I don't, oh, do I actually, oh, I think I actually do this. React node, is this how I do it? No. No. How the fuck do I do this? Oh, this is so annoying. So I can't I can export a type. But as soon as I actually set something there, then suddenly it doesn't work. What the fudge? Or do I have to like... Oh, don't I actually need declare default? HTML can optionally export a default. Only one default. Blah default. For instance, declare. Let's just do this. Okay, so this works. Okay. But are you... Fucking TypeScript. Fuck you. Does not have any construct or call signatures. Oh, yeah, because this is the... Okay, so this is what I mean. Like, I want this to be... Can I do this? React node. Okay. And then props. Are you happy now? Yeah, only we don't have like a ref. Ref react.ref. Is this like, I can do this? Yeah, and then we have width. Okay, nice. Okay, so let's just type it. Width, number, height, number. And I think that's wrong because it can be undefined. What is it complaining about? Excalidraw cannot be used as a JSX. Its return type. Its return React node is not a valid return type. Okay. Well, any then. I don't fucking care. Sorry, I'm getting a bit impatient with this. I'm cursing a lot, aren't I? I don't mean to. It's not nice to curse. Anyways, so what I want here, I am going to get some data and then I want to dispatch. Oops. I want to dispatch type. Sync should be uppercase. I want to do some syncing and I want to sync that data. That's all I want to do. And then we have to change this a little bit so that we do a transform here instead. Transform context. And we're going to say when we are loading, let's just return like loading. And then if we have an error, OMG error, let's make it a template literal where we have an actual error. Don't we have an error here? Oh, error string. And then when we're loaded, we're actually going to have some data there, or at least that's the, and we're just calling it any, as I said. Okay, then we have the data, and then we have one final state, which is syncing. And the point is that when we're syncing, we don't really care. We are actually going to put some stuff around the Excalidraw canvas. But currently there's like no way to express loaded or syncing. You're going to do the same. So what we're going to do here instead is that we're going to move this. Let's call it like render Excalidraw. Like that. And then let's just render Excalidraw. And we're going to say that this is pick state this would be for like loading or syncing. Not loading, loaded. You see that? It's happy. We know that we can use it both places. So if I were to remove this, you see we get an error there. And now it ensures that we actually do have data in both of them. And yeah, it's just a lot of good stuff. Anyways, so now we should have that. So now we can actually go and grab this data. So let's do it. Let's do it. So when we are loading, we have the ID there. We need to point to Firebase, what? Oh. Firebase. Oh my God. One more time. Firebase. We are going to Firestore collection, and then we have Excalidraw collection, and we're going to get the ID. Oh, sorry. Doc ID get, then and catch. Okay, so if we have an error, we're going to dispatch type loading error and message. And if we have a success, I guess we get the document there. And we are going to dispatch type loading success. And what did it take? Yeah, it takes the Excalidraw doc data, and I think this is like a function call. Yes, document data or undefined. Okay, so I guess we need to doc.data if Excalidraw else. This is nice. Now I can say found the Excalidraw without any content. What the fuck? And now we have another issue, because this is saying like now Excalidraw is like a type of document data. And like document data, it's yeah, it's just really weird how they, where did they get T from? Yeah, so the thing is that I can't really type this. Like, where do I actually, is it at the collection level? Because I can't, like, there's no T here. Like, you see it points to T, but where the hell does the T come from? It's like a document snapshot. But where do I define the document snapshot? So this is a document snapshot. So I guess I have to say document snapshot, Firebase document a Firestore document snapshot, and then I'll have to actually define, where did I define this thing? Was it here? Didn't I somewhere I define, oh, was it here? No, didn't I say like didn't I say like author string and data any? Yeah, so this starts complaining. This is what I really hate about the typing of Firebase, there's no way for me to actually type this thing. So I kind of have to but now I'm saying that it's there, but it might not be there. So it's and I can't say that this is a snapshot of it's just incredibly just fudged up. Can I do this? Can I like say this? No. Like there's nowhere I can actually put this type, which is just incredibly weird. There's nowhere I can put it. Which is completely just nonsense from the Firebase API. Like I should be able to say like something like if I do any here, like I can't put anything there. I can't say that this is like I can't override the generic. It's always document data, and it's just stupid. It's it's just really stupid. And if I do this, it also doesn't like it. Type document data is not assignable to type. So I just hate this. It's stupid. It's stupid. So I have to do to actually do this, I have to kind of do this. Which is stupid. Anyways, okay, so now we have a loading success, and then we have the syncing. Now, the one thing I'm not dealing with here is, well, that's the thing, like the dispatcher might run after this component has unmounted. And it's actually not a problem, but React will yell at us and kind of notify that you did a dispatch and it's probably a memory leak, but that's not the case. So I'm not really dealing with that now, but anyways. Doc, can't I do like, yeah, I can do a set. How did this work? Data, and then we say merge true. Then yeah, so the question is, what do we do with syncing? We could do another loading success. I don't know if this set actually returns. Yeah, this is only the data. So I guess we can have like a sync success and a sync error. Like, this is also what I love about this. We actually we're kind of forced to think about all the scenarios. So let's do an error message here as well. Sync success doesn't really pass anything. It's just to notify that. Yeah, so the only question here is like, we should probably like create a queue here, because what would happen now is that we will kind of run the, every time we make a change in Excalidraw, we're actually going to push that data into Firebase. And well, first of all, we should just debounce it. But if it fails, we need to try again, right? So maybe we can at least do that first. How would we debounce this? Well, if I had Firebase from the outside, defining my own API, I would actually debounce it there. But we're not doing that now, so how would we debounce this? Well, I guess we can't really do it now. Okay, but that's another reason for putting Firebase as an outside dependency with our own API, is that we really do want that debounce. Yeah. Okay, let's not deal with that right now. Let's just see if we can get this running. Oh. So it's loading. And nothing's happening. Why is nothing happening? That's kind of weird. That is kind of weird. Oh, loading 6. Oh, sorry. That's not weird. We haven't implemented anything. Okay, so when we're loading, we can get a loading success. And that moves us into the loaded state. Loaded state. And I think this gets like an Excalidraw. And do we say, oh, so here we actually have an Excalidraw. Okay, let's type this now. Type Excalidraw data. Yeah, let's do that. Author string data any. Syncing, and this is actual data. It's not like the whole Excalidraw. And then loading success would be Excalidraw data. Okay, and then this might be an oops. This might be an error, where we have the error, and we're going to move to an error state with that error. And when we are loaded, we can actually sync. Yeah, so this is the question, like it takes a little bit of time to sync. So we can actually control that quite a bit now, which means that when we're syncing, we're not syncing again. So maybe this might actually be, well, it's not good enough, but we need to fix that. So we are going to allow syncing data. So we're going to allow syncing when we are syncing as well. And then we have an error. We can't really, the question is, what is the error? So let's not do anything about that now. Oh, there we are. We have Excalidraw running. So what happens now if I draw something? Absolutely nothing. Oh, it's because it's transparent. Is it? What the hell is this? This looks different than on the web. Oh, yeah, of course. I'm not. Yeah, so this is what I'm wondering. I'm getting the elements now, but how do I get that back? Like, shouldn't it... How does this actually work? I haven't checked this. So... But I'm able to draw here. Why am I not allowed to draw in here? Like nothing is happening. Is it because do I have like view mode or something? This isn't making any sense. Is it because I need on pointer update? Okay, let's just try to add on pointer update. Oh, what's wrong here? Loaded. Oh yeah, loaded is Excalidraw. And now syncing only has... Okay, I guess that also needs... So the action is data and syncing also has Excalidraw data. Yeah, it needs to have that. So we have the data there, but we're going to use the existing Excalidraw and update it with the data like that. We're going to do this instead. Then this is the Excalidraw and then Excalidraw data. Maybe that was actually the problem. No, I can't draw anything. What the hell? What if I remove pointer update here? I can still draw. Blah, blah, blah. What if I did this? Oh, Excalidraw. Is that the thing? No, I do have Excalidraw wrapper. I'm curious why I can't do anything. Which version is this? Oh, there it works. Nice. What if I refresh now? That didn't work. Yeah, because I'm not dispatching it, I think. No, I don't want to look like you, Danny. It was involuntarily. Not saying like I'm better than you, though I do have more hair growth than you, I think. Well, not on my face. So you beat me on like the beard, but I think like on the top, I'm, yeah. Sorry. Let's see. Okay, we're getting crazy closer now. So we're going to do on change. We are going to pass data on change, and we're going to pass elements and state. Are we actually going to pass state? Isn't it app state? I think that's how it's stored. Okay, let's try this. Ooh. Invalid data. Can I look at that? Let's see what it actually tries to sync here. Return console.log Excalidraw data. Yeah, so it's elements. Oh, fudge, it's like a map. Oh, okay. But maybe we shouldn't. Ah, that kind of sucks. What do we actually pass to the thing? So initial data, what was that? Elements. Okay, so I guess we kind of just have to. Is it able to? Do we have to create a serializer and the serializer for this? Because you have this. Why the hell do they have a map? Map. Do they have others weird stuff? Because I bet it's breaking here on collaborators. But I'm not sure if we should actually pass this. Thinking about it. So let's don't do that. Let's just store the elements. Because this is a ton of things that we don't really care about, do we? Okay, I think we're going to move back here, or maybe, wait a minute, we can actually Firestore. Oh, I really want to make this work before I have to go. Which one were we at now? No. ZOH. Oh, so we don't have any data there now. Okay, so it's just. Okay, so let's not call it data. We're going to call it elements. Elements. Well, that doesn't matter. Well, like it can be anything. Well, it's supposed to be an array of something. Yeah, cool. So let's change that. So when we actually create a new one, we're going to add elements, and that's just an empty array. And then this app state. Yeah, I'm a little bit unsure about this. So let's say app state. Let's add that as well. And then let's go into Excalidraw. This is going to be elements, any app state, any. And we are going to say Excalidraw data, and we're going to say set elements. So we're just going to update the elements when we're syncing. And then this is going to be okay. So this is going to be Excalidraw Okay, I think that's good. I think maybe. No, are you still complaining? Maximum update depth. So what the hell is happening here? Oh, it's the syncing. I think. No. What the hell are you complaining about? Maximum update depth. So we are loading and then we're loaded. Let's not sync the app state. There's something weird going on there. God damn it. So when we do get a sync, we are actually getting elements here. Instead, that means, yeah, so this is also wrong. Elements. I wonder why we're getting the depth. Repeatedly call set state. Oh, elements. So we have an on change. Oh, so it keeps, oh, I think I know why. Of course, it's because we're calling sync on change, and that puts us into syncing state, which updates the Excalidraw canvas, which triggers a new change. How did I actually intend this? This is kind of weird. This is really weird because we don't want to, like, it says initial data. It seems that it needs to, like, every time we pass initial. Oh, is it every time initial data changes? That's why it's initial data. Okay, so we actually need to be explicit about that, because now we're just passing down the current. Yeah, so we actually never change. Oh, this is interesting. We should never really change the Excalidraw when we're syncing. Yeah, we actually only care about it when we're loaded, and after that, we don't really care about it anymore. We don't want to change it, which is interesting. So we don't really have a reference to the last. Okay, so we need to call it initial Excalidraw. Initial Excalidraw. And then when we're syncing, we're doing that with an Excalidraw. Okay, but let's just do this for now. That's the point. This should never change. So we'll set an initial Excalidraw, and we have an Excalidraw, and then what we pass down here is the actual initial Excalidraw. Which is not available when we are syncing, so we actually need the Excalidraw data there as well. Okay, this is this is interesting that we need this initial thing. So I think this should solve the what the fuck. But we never changed the initial Excalidraw. Why is this failing? God damn it. We are not getting there. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. I don't understand why. Oh, is it the on change? Wait, it's the... Oh, so it's if anything changes here. Okay, sorry. Oh, this is React at its worst. Like, I understand why it works this way, but it's... You really have to think about it. So we have this on change. And now we have to use on change. And this needs to be a use callback, right? And this never changes. So if we update now, god damn it, isn't it that either? But does this change? Or do I actually have to use a React memo there? Now I'm just spitballing here. God damn it. There we go. Okay, so the reason it was a problem is that it kept, like, I'm changing the state from the outside, right? And every time the actual Excalidraw is hit, it will do a new re-render. It doesn't seem to check the initial data. It's just every time the Excalidraw component renders, it will trigger a new on change. So it was just looping like crazy. Yeah, I didn't see that one coming. But anyways, let's see if we can get this running. And if I add something here now, and I refresh, there we have it. We did it. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Height is 100 view height. Width is 100. Well, is that? Why is it in this? Oh, is it the margin? Of course. There we go. Oh, is there still some margin? There we go. Awesome. So we have persisted our Excalidraw. So basically, okay, so one last thing we want to do now. Okay, so we need to do a little bit more tomorrow. But what we're going to do now, we're going to deploy this. Let's create a script for doing this. Oops. Package.json deploy. So we're going to do npm run build, and then we're going to do Firebase deploy. Because what should work now is I'm going to Notion. Hopefully I'm not showing anything secret there. Let me just create a new page. How do I create a new page? Private new page. There we go. Let me hide that. What's it called? Excalidraw test. And deploy complete. So if we go to the hosting URL now, open, authenticating. Oh, that's strange. Why isn't it able to authenticate? God damn it. God damn it. Is it because I'm... Why the hell aren't I authenticating? And there's nothing... Oh. It's as if nothing's happening. Oh my god, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. We were so close. We were so close. Let me application. Oh, maybe I didn't test this. I probably didn't test this. So when we are unauthenticated, so we are waiting for like on auth state changed. Yeah, sorry. Else sign in error. And are we moving to sign in error? Yeah, we're moving to unauthenticated. Authenticated. Okay, let's try again. This is something I wanted to like change, but we went into other stuff instead. But hopefully it will be working now. So the point is like, we're doing on auth state change, but I'm not authenticated. So there's no user. So we're not moving out of the authenticating state. That was the issue. Okay, let's try again. Maybe it takes a little bit of time before it updates. Okay, I'm worried now. Why isn't it working? What the hell? Yes, no. So I'm dispatching. Oh, sorry. God damn it. When we are authenticating, we can also have sign-in error. I didn't review that stuff. Oh, and we have to. I have to go to welcome. We have to test this. I will be 1 minute late. God damn it. on. Danny, can you tell the others I'm tiny bit late? Okay, sign in. Isn't that what the fuck? Nothing's working. And I've been saying this is such a good pattern and everything just breaks. What the fuck? I didn't test this, you know, I just changed the code for this. So unauthenticated, authenticate. It's authenticating. Oh. This should be sign in. Signing in. God damn it, we did so many changes to this. There we go. Oh yeah, sorry. And then actually here we have to do sign in. This is what we're doing. Okay, sorry. I didn't refactor. We refactored that without testing it. All lies, yeah. It's all lies. Oh, god damn it. It's just me moving a little bit fast. Because we implemented signing in, and we implemented that as authenticate, but then we wanted, like, we have this listener in Firebase, which is this auth changed, and then we changed to signing in instead. But then we forgot to change the explicit sign in event. Okay, now sign in, code sandbox, create new Excalidraw. Wow, that's not a nice color. Let's draw something. Let's take this, let's put it into Excalidraw, create embed. Okay, we have our Excalidraw here. We have it here. Let's create a new one. Should be synced. I go back. I refresh. How do I open it? There we go. Didn't it sync? God damn it. There it is. Does it cache it or something? No, there it is. Yeah, maybe I wasn't waiting long enough. Okay, so it's kind of working. I have to go. Bye bye.